Hi, this is Steve Rowe, Executive Director. Today is Thursday, October 28th, 2021. I apologize that we're recording our weekly video update a day late, but both Kim Bergen-Jackson and I were away at our national conference earlier this week. The conference started Sunday afternoon and ended Wednesday afternoon, so we both flew home kind of late in the day yesterday. And the conference pre-COVID would have had about 6,000 to 7,000 people at it. I don't know the exact number that were there, but it was definitely smaller than normal. It was a very safe environment. In order to go to the conference, you had to provide proof of vaccination, and it was fully masked. So just like if you've traveled recently, from the second you step in the airport to the second you leave the airport at your destination, you're wearing a mask the entire time. That's how this conference was as well. So I feel safe having attended. I think it was good to at least get that piece of normalcy back and gather and start to share ideas again as we all do the important work that we do. A major theme for the conference was the staffing challenges that we are all facing. There are no silver bullets that I heard about or that I brought home with me, but it was actually a little reassuring to hear that really everyone is dealing with that challenge, and it doesn't matter if you're in Iowa, in Minnesota, in Florida, wherever you are, we're all facing very similar staffing challenges. Caregiver fatigue and burnout is a very real issue, especially for those communities that have been battling COVID and not been as successful as Oaknall has. There are just a lot of people leaving the long-term care profession right now. So part of our challenge nationally and certainly within the walls of Oaknall is to attract and recruit people to the very important work that we do. Another of the themes was related to diversity, equity, and inclusion. Again, no silver bullets, but the efforts really have to start with inclusion and making everyone feel that they are valued here within the walls of our Oaknall community, and that they're part of our team and an important part of the community and the work that we do. So I did get some new ideas related to both staffing and diversity, equity, and inclusion that I'll be sharing with our respective teams that are working on those issues, and hopefully we will see some progress then as a result of having attended the conference. A COVID update. I did update our daily tracking or our case count tracking earlier this morning. For the past month now, a little over a month, we have been trending downward, but the cases are still higher than what we would like. As of the 2-week moving average as of October 26th, which would have been through Tuesday, we're still at 26 new cases per day over that 2-week average. Positivity rate continues to decrease slightly above 5%. It's 5.2%. Across the entire state, there are currently 531 individuals hospitalized related to COVID, and 129 of those hospitalized are in intensive care beds. 65% of the hospitalizations and 81% of the people in ICU beds are unvaccinated. So hopefully, as the vaccinations continue to spread, we will see those numbers come down. At Oaknall, we have one employee who is currently out because of a positive COVID test. There was no potential exposure from that employee. They had tested negative, and then when they tested positive, they hadn't worked in between those two. So there was no potential exposure to any residents, so we don't have to go through the resident testing protocol. And we continue to have no residents that are positive for COVID. Many of our residents received the Pfizer COVID booster shot over the last couple of weeks. The Moderna COVID booster has been approved now, and we are trying to coordinate with Walgreens to get a Moderna COVID booster clinic scheduled. As soon as that has been scheduled, we will be communicating to all of you who received the Moderna vaccine to let you know the details of that COVID booster clinic if you received the Moderna shots. We are also encouraged by the news which happened earlier this week that it looks like kids as young as 5 years old may be able to start receiving the COVID vaccine, hopefully as early as late next week. So that's certainly positive news for many of the employees who we have that have young kids that haven't been able to be vaccinated yet. Will certainly be a relief to them when we can get some of our 5 to 11-year-olds vaccinated now. Next thing I want to talk about is Thanksgiving. There was a communication that came out last week related to our Thanksgiving plans, but we are planning to host Thanksgiving meals in the Hayden Community Room, the Hope Dining Room, the studio, and in the community room at our East Campus. We will also be delivering meal trays or family-style meals and just food to resident apartments. So if you're planning on hosting family or friends in your apartment, you can order a quantity of food and we'll just bring it up so that you can serve family-style if that is your preference. We want to remind everybody to make reservations early. When the communication came out, we almost immediately received the first 70 or so reservations for the meals. And I just want to encourage you to make sure that you've done that so that our staff has plenty of time to prepare, and we've got the adequate supplies of food to get you and plans for how we're going to deliver that to everybody who is looking for that on Thanksgiving Day. A quick update on the pool. I absolutely know how important the pool is for many of you. We had an unusual situation over this past weekend where the pool just kind of spontaneously emptied itself. There was a pump that failed. Ross figured out where the issue was, and that pump has been ordered. We are expecting it to be here by the end of next week. In the meantime, Ross has found a way to bypass that filter or that pump that failed, and that has allowed us to fill the pool back up. We will then need to rebalance chemicals, and before we can open the pool, we do need that replacement part, so that there's an important filter that is involved related to this process, and we can't really open up the pool until that filter is operational, and that's somehow related to the pump. So I wish I was more mechanical and I could explain it better, but it's like we've at least done the prep work so that when we have the new pump, we can open the pool almost immediately after it's been installed. So again, hopefully by the end of next week, we will have that new pump in hand and can reopen. And I really just want to thank Ross Williams and Greg Jones for their creative thinking in trying to find a way to get the pool opened as quickly as possible. So thanks to those two gentlemen. Finally, the last thing I want to talk about is, and I realize the timing of this is terrible. I was just away at a work conference for 3 days. I'm back today and tomorrow, and then next week I'm going to be away on vacation. But it is what it is. It's the timing that worked out for as my wife and I coordinated calendars, just looking at other obligations. So we are squeezing a week of vacation in next week. While I am away, Kim Bergen-Jackson will be here. When I return, Kim goes on vacation. So Kim will do the recording next week, and I will see you again in 2 weeks, a couple days after I get back into the office again. I hope you're all doing well. Take care.